What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the continuation of the 2024 breakdown series with Menace to Sports. Kris Drew. Kris, he's back, part of our Bigger, Better, Bolder, Blacker series that we're coming here with Kris. Always bringing a little bit of actual intelligence to the channel, talking about these things. I love that we are able to get a guy on the channel that helps the really chill vibe of the show, but he actually knows what he's talking about. So Kris over there at Menace to Sports. Kris, where you're at? Well, you do your daily show at Menace to Sports. You are the owner and founder of menacetosports.com over there. You are the guy running the show. That is your project child, head honcho. So we appreciate you taking your time to come over here and bless us with your presence. And I'm excited to talk Buckeye recruiting, kind of get caught up. I've been ever since football season. I've just been in the woods or on the water. I've just been a little bit out of date with recruiting. And so I'm always happy to get spun up here with you about the Buckeye defensive class. Guys, throw us a like on this video if you're looking forward for an improved 2024 defense on the field. All right. In that same theme, though, we're not going to talk about current guys that are looking to make huge impacts this year. We're on to the 2024 defensive class breakdown. Kris, you're here. You're ready to go with this. This is, again, recruiting's one of your project children over there at Menace, and with something that you've always liked for a long time. Fun fact for you guys, Kris and I first met I want to say it was the 2019 Michigan State game.
Yep.
It was close to Halloween.
It was Halloween weekend. Blackout game.
Blackout game. Yep. And we were over at Zach Smith's house, just meeting up and watching the game. That was really cool. Kyle Lamb and some other people over there. It was a lot of fun. And that was maybe the last time the defense was great. So, well, it certainly was the last time the defense was anything close to great. So, Kris, defensive class, I want to hear from the fans out there if they can drop in the comment, please, a rating 1 to 10. How do you guys rate this defensive class? And Kris, we'll get right into it. I want to know, let's go, some standouts in this class. I mean, they all should be standouts, right? They're getting recruited to Ohio State, but really, who's the cream of the crop here for you?
Bro, Justin Scott. The Justin Scott kid, like this from Ignatius, 6'4", 310, can really move, can really push. I mean, a lot of people think he's the best interior defensive lineman in the country, and another one of those big freaks that kind of you need, and the highest ranked big freak that they've gotten there on the inside in a long time. Justin Scott is everything you want strength-wise. He's athletic enough. His first step is going to get better. And he's a guy that could just absolutely be a wrecking ball on the inside. And that's a recruitment that I wasn't even expecting Ohio State to win. I thought that kid was going to go to Michigan. I thought, obviously ended up committing to Ohio State and cited Larry Johnson. And again, like when we watch Georgia and Bama, it's like the big freaks on the inside, the ones that move different. He's that level. Now, this does kind of point to a philosophy shift, or at least a shift in who we're landing, because before, guys like Teron Vincent were not that big. Like Teron Vincent as a DT, it was a 5-star, but he was of the 6'2", 275 variety, like in high school. We're talking about guys who are 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds, guys that are chasing to be like Jalen Carter's the world, like that kind of size and athleticism. That's big. I think he's going to be a monster. I think he's going to be a guy that, as a sophomore, contributes. I'm really excited about Justin Scott.
Okay, yeah, and maybe a guy like you said that would go to Bama because those freaks on the inside probably stand out, in a 3-4 more, because you need a little bit less of an anchor, or can he be, your translate to a run, your less twitchy run stopping end in a 3-4 perhaps, right? And then so I wonder too, is there going to be an Ignatius that's going to shape out for like an Ignatius versus Ed's little rivalry with the Armstrong?
He's from the other Ignatius though.
Chicago. But with the namesake, right? It's like going across the country. It's like
Yeah,
I
I mean,
want
it will be the Armstrong twins. It'll be at
on
least
the
one of
other
them
side of the
inside.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, on the other side of the ball.
That'd be
So
really cool.
yeah, so all right. Well, that is good to hear. And then maybe, like you said, I got frustrated every time I heard. Like I would go back and forth with people with Teron Vincent, and they're like, "Well, he does his job." I'm like, "Man, he doesn't fall down. That's what you mean.
Yeah,
Like he's there, but like and you could look and like Jalen Carter didn't like fill out a stat sheet probably besides pressures a lot because he was but he was a freak. There's no
he ruined things.
comparison.
He ruined a lot of things.
Yeah, he ruined a lot. Teron Vincent, like, he's not screwing up, but he's not making any difference. Like, there's no, like, we were really, really critical of our defensive ends, I feel like, last year. And I'm like, well, guys, you're asking them to do like every sack almost, like get every sack. How many sacks did Chase Young get because the quarterback's moving away from one interior pass rush?
Devon Hamilton was so good. Devon Hamilton was so good.
Like I would give him a couple Chase Young sacks because he's moving the line away. Like when you're going to stay in the pocket forever and you don't have to get flushed because the middle of it's not collapsing, it's going to make any defensive end's job really hard.
And the secondary is bad.
Yes, and exactly. So I am excited to hear, but you got me sold that a guy on the inside can really make a difference. Who else? Let's go to the polar opposite. All right, it's no stranger, nothing here is breaking news that Ohio State has had secondary issues for a while now. Is there any secondary guys that you're like, this guy paves the way to a better future?
I'm really, really excited about Miles Lockhart. Like really excited. Last year, I'll contend that our corners were not as bad as everyone made it seem like. I thought our corners did a pretty decent job outside. There were moments here and there. The biggest issue was that slot corner role. Whoever was slot safety role, that third safety spot, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Right.
There was a point in there where kind of the season went off the rails to me, Johnny, when we saw the Washington cat from Penn State go crazy on Tanner McAllister, and then it put on film for the entire world. Tanner McAllister is the mark. And Jim Knowles and Ohio State knew that. So what they try to do, okay, well, let's try to put Cam Martinez there. And it's like, oh, like Tanner McAllister was starting over him all year, and now you guys put him in. Let's see if he can play too. And then we got the famous clip of him being spun around. And then you get to a point where we know Tanner McAllister can't really cover. We know that Cam Martinez can't really cover. And then there's a situation where I thought Lathan Ransom, in large part, had a great year, except for when he was asked to cover kind of that slot receiver. That's the issue. We had three safeties trying to do that. That's really a corner's job, like Shaun Wade. Remember Shaun Wade in that the famous slot corner role. Miles Lockhart excites me because, first of all, he shut down Dylan Raiola's team twice, and they were underdogs both times and beat them out in Arizona, proving that he can play against high-level quarterbacks. Second, he told me that Tim Walton was recruiting him to play the slot position, which is interesting because before that was the third safety, right? And I asked him, I said, well, that slot role is a safety role. He said, no, Tim Walton is recruiting me with the plan to be the nickel corner safety, whatever you want to call it, because I'm physical and I have outside corner coverage skills. So that's what you're going to get from Miles Lockhart, and that excites me. I mean, he's a kid that loves run support, can really hit, is with the physicality. He's right around that 1,100-meter time, which is good. It's really good for that kind of safety role as well. And he can stick his nose, and you're getting a corner body with corner coverage skills that wants to tackle, that you can slide him inside and ask him to do just that. Don't let these slot receivers go crazy. So that really has me excited in terms of kind of defensive output. I think that's big because really, I think we were a nickel corner away from winning a natty. I think if you take Elias Ricks last year instead of Tanner McAllister and you tell him to go play the slot, go man up, I think Ohio State wins a natty.
Yeah, well, or at least you put him outside and one of the other two slide inside, right?
Something.
I
would love if we had a third corner. You can move Igbinosin inside and make him be Shaun Wade. I just don't know if we have a third outside guy this year.
It's really tough to fill that position. And for years, people have been playing, or a Jordan Fuller could do it. A Jordan Fuller was one of those rare guys that, was a one high, great, deep safety, and he was a good strong safety, right? Traditionally, we call a strong safety. Now it's a slot safety / nickel corner, right?
Yeah,
With these three.
I don't know what the safety roles are because, it's really just a nickel corner because the strong safety is more that Ronnie Hickman role.
Yeah, so you're just replaced with
three safeties.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm with you, and I don't mind when because offense have been doing this forever, right? When an offense moves your number one receiver to the slot, and you don't go check the zone. Okay, if Tanner McAllister gets beat by the number one receiver on the team, I'm not that upset, right? But when you can just consistently put a 2 or a 3 out there and torch them, and it's and we have no answer. That does become a problem. And then, like you said, well, what do you do? Do you go, my corners are my corners for a reason, right? So what do I do with this? So this is it's good to think we're attacking that piece of the puzzle because you're always going to have that, right? You're always going to have a safety body there, which by design, he's just not going to. You saw Sean Wade's difference when he's covering a nickel in the nickel spot versus covering outside. There's just a difference there, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the way it's going to happen. So, what about who else in the class do you think really can make some waves as a silver bullet?
Bryce West. I'm a big Bryce West guy, Glenville guy. I'm a firm believer that if you want to win titles at Ohio State, you need to start someone from Glenville. If you look at kind of just how it goes in the past, I mean, what's the best secondary Ohio State's ever had? It's probably that Garyon Conley, Hooker, Lattimore year, right? Lattimore's from Glenville. Conley's from Akron, Massillon.
Yep.
Like you just need guys from Northeast Ohio. So Bryce West, freak, really good athlete, doesn't have the polish, but is so athletic and can really play. Also, like Thorpe Award winner Kobe Bryant was also from Glenville, and Ohio State wouldn't offer him. Take that for what it's worth. Bryce West, I'm really excited about. So he's a 10 500-meter kid. He recorded the fastest verified time with the ball in his hands in all of high school football last year. 22.4 whatever miles per hour, faster than KJ Bold, faster than everybody with the ball in their hands, faster verified time than I think Gatlin Bear, who ran a 10.2, at a track meet. So that's how fast he is, and he plays at Glenville where they don't get the extra spring periods, and he's still locking everything down to the point where I talked to Gann, he was like, yeah, it was almost too easy for the kid. Like no one wanted to throw the kid's way. It's like watching Reed's highlights, but he's a really good player, really physical, really fast. And if he gets a Ted Ginn stamp of approval, I'm excited for him. And that's what he got.
Yeah. If I'd known he was that good, I've been over in the East Cleveland, the Superior area not long ago. Maybe I should have stopped in and said, hey, let's see.
Fun fact, he does not go to Glenville.
Really?
Really?
Just from the area?
Yeah. He goes to Ted Ginn Senior Academy, not Glenville High School.
Okay, gotcha.
But those kids all play for Glenville.
Okay, gotcha. See, I've been out of the loop. I'm glad.
Well, nobody knows that. No, nobody knows that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I just hear one of the two names, and I just associate all with the same thing. Well, that's pretty awesome. All right, Kris. Well, you have me excited for the defensive class. I do think if the numbers can. Quick question: if we get some more numbers. Do you think we can go ahead and lock up by the time it's all said and done that number one class spot to finish there, or is it just going to be a numbers game? But hey, with the quality of recruits that we have, it truly this is not a fake off-season hype. This class is a real true bright spot.
No, this class is in a good spot. Last year, there were a lot of misses, especially on the defensive line, and then the secondary kind of supplemented, and then some weird stuff happened as well. I do think Ohio State got 2 really good corners last year, but I think you should take 3 to 4 corners every year and take less safeties. I don't think they'll finish with the number 1 overall class. I think some schools are going to crazy oversign. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia took 30 plus. But I do think Ohio State has a good shot to win that average crown rating.
The average crown rating
to have the highest per player, rating. And I do think they'll finish in the top 3. I anticipate, Johnny, they'll take 28, which is more than I've ever seen them take. In the world of transfer portal and stuff like that, you're going to need that. So, and they're going to lose a ton next year, like a ton. So I think 28's the number. I think finishing with the number 2 or number 3 class is probably pretty realistic. I think that Michigan's going to take 30 and finish in the top 8, but near the bottom. I think they have 17 4-stars, 0 5-stars, and I don't think they finished with 1. So that's kind of the other competition point that you kind of in all of this.
Oh, I thought they had a 5-star quarterback. I thought they had a. What happened there, guys?
Well, here's what happened. To be as nice as possible, they had a 5-star quarterback that went in a room with a whole bunch of 4- and 5-star quarterbs, and they said,
and all of a sudden he wasn't a 5-star anymore.
They said that doesn't like that, so you can't do that anymore.
Right. So, hey, that's why you camp, though, right? This so they give them time to iron out these wrinkles. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kris, and bringing some knowledge to the show. We'll have to bring you back here again sometime before long. Appreciate what you're doing over there, Menace. Look forward to hopefully catching up and seeing you this football season, my friend. As always, goodbye. God bless, and go Bucks.